What's in here? Before I show you, wait. Good morning, beautiful people! But first of all, how you doing? Everyone's good? Staying safe? That's good. I guess this is the second episode of Living in the Bubble, level 4 lockdown. So what's been happening? Recently, I built a specialized Alice, whatever you call it, the Tour Down Under edition. Last night, I was rebuilding this bike because since I first initially built the bike, got a few issues. So I made a decision, alright, let's rebuild this beauty. I stripped the E-Type group set and I put a Ultegra, called the Ultegra hydraulic mechanical group set, except the rear derailleur is the Ultegra RX. I believe that's pretty much a GRX. This is what Shimano came up with, the clutch design before the GRX came out. The reason I got rid of the E-Type is because originally I was gonna put the Panaracer Gravel King SK 43mm tire. Not that I have to, but I just think has a little bit more grip when it's wet, because this 38mm tire, because the Zip 303 Faircrest wheels are pretty wide. So when I put it on, I measure it actually blow up to 41mm, but then the 43mm just give you a little bit more grip when it's wet. 30mm is great when it's dry. The only issue I had with E-Type is the front derailleur, because if I have an E-Type battery here, here you go. This is the issue. You see the size difference. When I put the E-Type here, it's almost touching the tire. So for those of you who considering buying this bike and you considering doing E-Type 2x setup, spoiler alert, the front has heaps clearance, but the back maximum 40mm tire, and also depends on your rim. If your rim is too wide, it's gonna rub right there into the battery. Got rid of that. And initially I had full compact 50-34 chainring, but now I changed to 46-34. So the small chainring is the same for climbing. The big chainring, you're not gonna need 50. You're not gonna go that fast on a gravel bike. And also smaller big chainring means, you know, the big small chainring gap is a little bit smaller, means shifting should be a little bit better. Just for lows, I tried 42 front chainring. It doesn't fit. It will scratch your frame. So for those of you just gonna ride this bike 2x setup on the flat gravel, 50 front chainring is the biggest you can get. I'm not sure about the latest model, but for this model, 50 is the biggest. But yeah, I changed the chainring to 46 and 34. Another big change is the rear derailleur setup. Before, I used the SRAM Red Wifely 11-speed derailleur, which can only go up to 34. Just got a phone call, hang on. Alright, I'm back, sorry. I think from memory that I did a little bit of research, the Ultegra RX rear derailleur actually can handle this 42 cassette by adjusting the B screw, but it's kind of really pushing it. So I add this wolf tooth road link. It's dedicated, designed for this derailleur, and it got heaps clearance. So yeah, works really well. One advice I'll give you if you want to do similar setup is to buy a proper brand, because I used to have a no brand thing, something like that. It looks like a wolf tooth, but no brand. Doesn't work very well. If you want to get good performance, get the proper one. It costs you, this one probably costs you 30-40 bucks. This costs you $3-4, but do the right thing. The last thing is I changed the cockpit, well, mainly the handlebars. When I bought the frame online, I was looking at the geometry, and it says a size small has a top tube about 52.5, 53 centimeters. And I was like, yeah, cool, spot on. So I bought it. It actually says small down here, size small. But when I measure it, effective top tube, center to center, it's about 51. So it's definitely on the small side. I have no idea why. That's why I changed the cockpit, because I just feel like it's a little bit crammed up. I put on a whopping 140mm 3T stamp just because the color is matching. And also got rid of the where is it? I got rid of the aero bars, because you know it's an aero, a gravel bike, it has to be aero. No, stupid. The flat section, you can't mount anything, not lights, not nothing. It's just stupid. For a road bike, you want to just be fast, save a couple watts, you're fine. But for a gravel bike, you want the practicality. So I found this bars, specialized 40mm, really nice shape, has a pretty big flare, but not ridiculous. And also being such a small size frame, has a little bit rise. So when you're on the top, it's more comfortable. I believe for overall bike controlling, this is better now. Being a wider bar on the hoods and on the drop as well. So the next thing I might do, since I have got more rear tire clearance, I may set up the 43mm Planet Racer Gravel King tubeless tires. So yeah, that's my story about the changes I did on my 3T Exploro gravel bike. So far, I really enjoy it. I just took it out for 1 minute ride. That's why I got my shoes on. How you like my socks and tracky pants combo? Pretty good, huh? Okay, now let's open up the box. Right, forgot something. Just a little touch. First time I tried this BTP handlebar tape. They are really grippy. They're not very thick, but it's kind of like a medium. But yeah, very grippy. It kind of matched the color theme of the bike. And it's gotta be red. KH computer mount. Look how matchy this is. This is actually a SRAM bar tape brand, but it matches. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is actually not my bike. This belonged to a good friend of mine, and he bought it. He hasn't seen it yet, so he shipped it straight to my address, because I can't tell you who, because he wants to give some of you guys that watch my channel, you know, also his mates, and he wants the big wow surprise factor. So understandable. Now I'm gonna take it out. This is actually the exact same bike of my 2020 Specialized Venge. So you have an idea of what it looks like, but this is much bigger bike. Oh yeah, he asked me to take a photo just to make sure everything is in one piece. That's my phone. So here it is. This is the 2020 Specialized Bench. Thanks for watching. I'm just kidding. So this is the problem with I live by myself and I work at home, and it's level 4 lockdown. So I think I can cope with indoor training, but just missing hanging out with my mates, you know? Yeah. If I don't say hello to my neighbors, I just don't see human at all. Whoa! Here it is. The 2020 Specialized Venge. It's a huge bike. I want to show you this pretty cool candy grain kind of paint job. You can see kind of like the raw carbon. Right, so this setup, the frame is actually exactly the same as the Iceworks version, including the Aerofly 2 bars and Iceworks stem. It's being second tier because of the group set and the wheels. So the group set is the SRAM Force ASX 12-speed versus the red, and CL disc versus the CLX. I have no idea why Specialized do this, but the new Tarmac SL7 Specialized actually dedicated the Iceworks version with the 12R carbon, and the Pro version is like 10R, so it's actually lower grade than this one. This is being the 11R. Big deal, big bloody deal. So talking to Sound Graphic Steve, the legend who painted my bike, he said, even though this paint job looks really transparent, you can see the raw carbon. There actually has a lot of candy grain paint in there. It took him about 16 hours just sanding it off. Send it away, get it custom painted, and then rebuild it. So stay tuned. Oh yeah. 7.6 kilos for a size 61 large bike with SRAM Force and not the lightest wheels for an aero bike. That's crazy a lot. Imagine you have red and the CLX wheels on it and some lighter paint, huh? It's gonna be a killer. Whoever owns this bike, bloody lucky. Wish I had one.